great anyway. Giaffone moves high on Sharp.
Saw some sparks coming off the back of Giaffone's car. The car's so low, touching the ground.
Looking inside, hold your line.
Whoa!
Oh, it takes two of them to the wall, Giaffone and Sharp. Takagi does continue on. Actually ended up with Castroneves down on the inside, too. 191st lap, 9 to go. And it's exactly what you said at starting, Scott, that it's just a small lapse, just the smallest mistake. There's Giaffone. He looks fine, probably wondering what happened.
Once the drivers put their visors up, take the steering wheel off, and you can see the visor is up right now, and Giaffone, you saw him moving. They know the drivers are fine. Now watch, Takagi's on the bottom. He gets down on that white line. The car starts to wiggle. He then touches Sharp, which takes him right into Giaffone. There just was not enough real estate room there, Paul, for all three of those guys to go through.
Takagi over on the far right there.
Now watch how low his car is, down on the ground, gets past that white line. The back end came around on him, just touched Sharp. And at 215 or 20 miles an hour, it does not take much to throw these cars off of balance. Here you go. The back end of the car just touches them, and off they go.
Big mark on the word Delphi from Takagi's right front. And he takes Giaffone as an innocent bystander up to the wall.
Now they're all going towards the same piece of real estate there. Nobody will take their foot off, as we mentioned a moment ago, because with this many laps left in the race, you know you can't lose momentum. What a great catch down here in the bottom apron. Brian Herta and Castroneves did a great job there without even touching each other.
Tell you what, that transition from the 24-degree bank to the pit lane road is pretty severe, so catching the car there was a big deal.
And that was one of the things that Brian Barnhart said in the meeting this morning. Don't go below that white line, because if you do, you'll end up having an incident.
Gary Gerald.
Tom Kelley is down here. You've had a chance to look at those replays. What goes through your mind? What are you thinking right now when you see this crushing defeat?
I think it's just idiotic for Takagi to try to pass below the white line going into 3. I mean, you just cannot go 3 wide. And unfortunately, it took 2 cars out of the race doing it.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Cost that man a lot of money. Not only the potential prize that he was going to have, but the cost of the car, because that car looks in pretty bad shape. On board Takagi.
Watch this. He takes the draft from the 2 cars in front, goes towards the inside. See where the white line is? It's in the middle of the car. There's just no chance of him actually being able to have an opportunity to go through there and make that through it cleanly.
Well, you hit exactly on the key, way down on the white line. Jerry Punch.
Down in the Monon pits, Peter Parrott's a team manager for both Felipe Giaffone and Tora Takagi. And Peter, that's what you don't want to see, your two team cars involved in an incident caused by another.
No, not really. That's a little bit unfortunate. They're both going for the front, and I guess there's too many cars for the same real estate there. Just unfortunate.
Tora's below the white line. He was complaining of a push. Did that have an involvement with what happened on the racetrack?
Yeah, I really don't know what Tora's problems were, but obviously he was down low. But it's one of those things. I mean, what are you going to do? It's racing, I guess.
It's racing. Monon, the owner of those cars, just shook his head, got on his bike, and started pedaling toward the care center. Paul?
So the question, too, is whether or not there's any damage. Wouldn't appear to be on Tora Takagi's right front. Scott?
Now, as you watch this here, we're going to move along here. The cars have already touched. You can see what ends up happening. He ends up taking them through. Now, we're going to go back and look at this. And as we start to enter into the turn, I want you to notice how far below the white line Tora Takagi's car is as we enter in. Now, right here, here's the white line. Look at his wheel. It's already below the white line. That's a 24-degree area that you talked about before, Paul. There's just no way the car will actually be able to take the 2 angles like that.
And Takagi is able to crank the wheel back around to the right and save himself. Well, here comes Castroneves and Brian Herta. They both get down on the flat part. And if they touched, it was a very light touch. On board with Scott Sharp.
You see, he's getting a bit of a draft. There's somebody on the right-hand side.
And broke our camera, too.
Well, it's a hard impact, Paul. I can tell you, I've done that before. And hey, trust me, he'd rather still be going around the racetrack right now.
Jerry Punch.
Well, I'm down with David Cripps, who's on the radios with Tora Takagi. And David, you're running Tora's pits. What was he thinking? Do you have any idea what was going on when he went down below that yellow line, white line a moment ago?
Well, I mean, it was just one of those unfortunate racing incidents. I don't believe he had any intentions to go under the line. but he had a run on those guys, and everybody started coming down, and he went under the line, obviously, to try and miss those guys, and unfortunately, you know, him and Sharp touched. And I mean, it's really bad for Felipe, because we really needed Felipe to have a good result this weekend too.
Any damage on Tora's car?
It doesn't appear there's any damage. It just looked like Scott's left rear just clipped our side pod. We had a pretty big moment, but it looks like everything's okay.
Okay, thank you, David. Paul?
Well, as we said, it's been a while for Unser Jr. Gateway Speedway just outside of St. Louis in August of 2001. That was the last one for Unser. This is Takagi. That white line almost went over all the way to the right front tire.
Well, Tora Takagi, his first ever night race at Texas, finishes third. And Tora, I guess the big question is, what happened here? Take a look at this replay. What happened with your car below the white line?
Already inside straight line. Maybe my twice inside, but he's a little bit coming down. Maybe my line is more inside. Maybe program, yeah.
So your thoughts were that Scott Sharp came down. Is that what you're saying? That look at Yoshi in your translator. Is he saying that he thought that Scott Sharp came down, but that's why it forced him below the white line?
Yeah. He says he was already inside within the truck, and then Scott Sharp is coming down, so there is no way he stay in within the white line, so he has to go down after that.
All right, Tora Takagi believing he was forced below the white line. Let's find out the other side. Jack Aroots with Scott Sharp.
Yeah, Scott, they're saying that Tora Takagi was forced below the white line. Give us your replay of that onboard as we take another look at it yet again.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, look at how tight Felipe is on me. It's the way we're running. I couldn't even believe that late in the corner. I mean, you're running 220 into there that someone's going to dive down like that, and there's just no way. You got to back out of it. And the apron pushes you right up, and exactly what happened. Pushed me up into my side pod, and I had obviously pushed into Felipe.
Throughout the most of the time as we ride with you this time, and now you're dealing with Felipe Giaffone.
Yeah, we had a great battle. I mean, there was a lot of aggressive driving out there, but I felt everyone I was pretty much around for the most part was pretty clean. I mean, I can't go to the right anymore with Felipe right there, and I tried to even move the car a little bit to the right just in case there was a way three of us could get through there, but you know, at 220 miles an hour, you can't be playing bumper cars.
Bumper cars is not what you want here at Texas Motor Speedway. Tight finishes are. We'll continue with coverage.
Takagi, who has been penalized 23 points for that incident on the 190th lap last Saturday night at Texas Motor Speedway. Most of the blame for that accident being laid at his feet. He's not happy with that. In fact, says he won't accept it. It's got to be tough to get in the car knowing you've got all of that weight from that pressing down on you.
Well, Paul, that's true, but you know, as a driver, I can tell you from the past experience that I've had, if something goes wrong either with the car in a pit stop or a situation like Tora's had, you really have to put it in a room and close the door. We call it just departmentizing, and actually what you do is once you slide inside that cockpit, no matter what's going on in your life or what's going on in the world, once you get in there, you're in your office, you put your six-way seatbelt harness on, they put the steering wheel on for you, and as soon as you start up the engine, nothing else comes into your mind. The full concentration it takes right now as we're watching him probably circling a 1-mile track about 170 miles an hour, you certainly have to keep 110% concentration.
Looking